Okay, this is for you, Barry. Why don't you read the comments by your own viewers on your own channel on your last show? There's people who have been making their own assessment of all this crap that's been going on, and they're speaking out. No one put a gun to their head to make those comments, and people have come up with their own analysis of where this is going. And all the people that are basically hurt from something that you started. I don't want to hear any excuses. You started it, okay? And nobody, including myself, wants to hear the same shit all the time that, oh, you hurt my feelings and you said a bad word. I'm not going to reiterate on that shit again. You know what you did. It affects a lot of people. The damage you have done through the years to people that you have come in contact with. And stop denying everything. I'm beyond trying to convince you of some of the crap that you've done in your life since we all have known you and we know you from YouTube, and that's how everybody knows who you are. And from things that you have admitted yourself. Yeah, this thing has gone to ridiculous lengths. And just listen to the people who comment on your channel. Your channel. Makes a lot of sense what they say, but there's a lot of people being hurt by this. You don't need to stress. I don't need to stress. You've affected your girlfriend. And I believe very dearly that she has been stressed from all of this. The fact is that you have certainly put pressure on her to do things that maybe she didn't really want to do. I don't particularly really hold your girlfriend totally accountable because we've all become to know you and what you're capable of doing. And I'm sure you have pressured her viciously into doing that complaint against me. And none of this will have a good outcome. May not have a good outcome for me. So think of everybody who's involved here because you decide to be cocky, holding on to your pride. You don't think my girlfriend's affected by all this? Of course she is. I'm affected. She's affected. Your girlfriend is affected by all this. You're affected by all this. And the truth is, you haven't made things better for yourself. And as you can see, I'm not yelling at you here, and I'm just telling you how it is. This is not the first thing I want to do when I wake up in the morning, is to make a show in regards to you. Believe me, it's not really my forte or my wants or my will. But read the comments on your own channel by your own viewers. They got something to say. They've been following this crap for years. Nobody comes out of this unscathed. Understand that. I don't. You don't. Your girlfriend doesn't. My girlfriend doesn't. You're right, this has to stop. And yes, I don't want to spend the rest of my years fighting cases with people such as yourself. Life is just too goddamn short. Believe me, I know it. The one thing that has to be done, well, we can't find any resolve to this apparently. And I don't think that's going to happen. There's no resolve to this. You got to do what you need to do. And your commenters have spoken about, look what you've done, 19 months. when perhaps a long time ago you could have somehow brought some kind of resolve to this matter. Possibly. But because of your stubbornness, your cockiness, and your disposition, you didn't want to show your weakness. Fuck the weakness, man. You've been locked up for almost 19 months. Now that's a reality. Fuck your cockiness. Fuck your pride. You want to get the fuck out of jail. Do what you need to do that. It's not like I'm jumping on your side. Even I believe that almost 19 months of just being in incarceration is horrible. And I'm saying that. Nobody else. I'm saying that. You know, if you really want to keep up and lose your freedom for extended periods of time, that's your thing. How do you think your girlfriend feels about that? Let's just say that you have a great relationship, no matter what I think. How fair is it to her? It's not. She's going through all this stress, and I'm sure she is. You got to understand, there is no future between you and her. No, I'm not dictating that. I just want to let you know that I'm not dictating that, you know, coming from me, saying that I feel there's no future for you guys, because there actually isn't. Whether she put a complaint against me or not, I can't help but feeling a little bit sorry for her, because she's, around 40 now. She needs to live her life. She needs to have a life. She can't hang on to a dream. She can't hang on to hope when the cards have been already laid out. Even if you did get out, let's just be honest about this, even if you did get out and a summary deportation allowed you to go back to America, there's going to be no way in the world that you're going to be able to marry her. The near impossibility of having her come out there and you don't meet any qualifications financially. They don't want someone to be a burden to the state. You have to prove financial responsibility to get her to stay out there, to sponsor her, whatever. Those are just facts. Hello, Jerry. Those are just facts. I don't make this shit up. And it's really unfair to her. Now, I know some people are thinking, why are you having any sympathy for somebody that put a complaint against you, which has the possibility of being deported? Why would I show any sympathy at all? Well, I know that she's been put up to this. There's no question in my mind. I really don't think that she's done this on her own. And I've said this many times, I'm going to say it again. She did not do this. She did not do this voluntarily. And you know that's a fact, Barry. You had put her through some unnecessary stress and pressure, which I think was really unfair to her. Now, as you people can see, I'm not going haywire on his girlfriend. I'm seeing both sides of the coin here. Although you might think that I would have this hatred for his girlfriend for putting a report in on me, I don't have any hatred for her. I don't have any. I think she was just following the pressure and pressuring that Barry has been given his girlfriend, which is really unfair to her. Her not knowing what possible legal things could happen to her because she decided to get pressured by you and fall into your trap. I'm still going to stick to my train of thought that this is a utilitarian relationship, at least on your side. She may actually have feelings for you. I'm not going to question that. But your motive, with your history, tells me different. It tells everyone that ever listens to your show, knowing your history, knowing your past. Yeah, people are not as stupid as you think they are. They're not as gullible as you think they are. Even people like Popeye, who shows a lot of hatred toward me, he knows what's going on with this situation. He just doesn't like me. There's really nobody who's supporting you out there. There's nobody. You lost support from most people on here. Let's get back into the meat and gravy of this whole situation here. Because I just got up not too long ago, but I just not the first thing I want to do in the morning is to talk about you. There's a lot of people being affected by what you've done. I know you'll turn around and say, what have I done? I haven't done anything wrong. I'm so beyond that. So is everybody else, Barry. You know that. Everybody's beyond that. Swallow your goddamn pride. Yes, I think your girlfriend should get a hold of immigration. And I don't know if she can or not. And she should stop this fucking report or this complaint. Because it's going to have ramifications. You got to understand, you don't care about a lot of people. Certainly you don't care about yourself, but you're affecting a lot of people. You did not have to be deported. I mean, that wouldn't be happening if you just obeyed the law. It's as simple as that. I could give you a big soliloquy on that, but I'm not going to. Keep that in mind. You did that. As far as the other stuff going on, the charges you got against you, you did that. Again, stop pointing fingers and stop all this denial. To some point, you actually started to admit, yeah, I did call him something. But to you, you take such, a gentle way of looking at it, that what you've been labeling me as a chomo, a child molester, a child predator, I don't think you understand the ramifications of that on both sides. Your side and my side. Nobody is a child predator. At least I'm not. How did you expect me to react of being called that on social media, which has the capability of reaching thousands of people, even my peers, old girlfriends, old friends, schoolmates, other people? You don't understand the ripple effect. What you said on there, it has a really big ripple effect. You already destroyed a friendship with me and a woman in Brazil who was a friend that would always check up on me to see how you doing, Frank. Religiously, she always followed my social media. That's just one example. Really lovely woman. You don't understand the people that you have hurt in your life. You don't want to admit. You tell people I've never took money off people. Everybody, Barry, knows better than that, dude. We know your history. It's been out there for a very, very, very long time. Don't you get it, man? You know, just like if you were sitting in front of me and we were friends and you were doing something that was really ridiculous and stupid, I would sit there and I would tell you, I would say, man, you know, you just can't do this kind of stuff. You're going to really get yourself in a shitload of trouble. Now I'm telling you now, we're not friends. But I'm going to tell you the same thing. What you've been doing is not proper. It's not good. It's not right. And you're paying the price for it. It's not send somebody up the river, as they say. That's was never my goal. But Barry, it didn't stop. And I'm only human. Oh, you say, oh, you talk about your reputation, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's right. It's not just words, Barry. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, you don't understand what I'm saying. Try to get through to you is trying to get through a brick wall. Your pride has taken over. You know what you did. There's no question about it. You know exactly what you did and the ramifications of such. Everybody wants to go on with their fucking life, and I'm a person too that wants to go on. I mean, I'm going on with my life no matter what. Don't get me wrong. The fact that I gotta get involved in having to do a fucking court case against you, sure it's taken a lot of money of mine. Sure, it's taken a lot of time and a lot of stress. But you're dealing with the wrong guy. You gotta pick and choose your enemies. You picked the wrong guy. I'm not somebody that stands in the sidelines and says, oh, this is okay to call me that. No, it's not okay, Barry. It was never okay for you to label me as something that I am simply and clearly not. Then you're using all this crap, this 8-year-old kid crap that you're pushing all the time. It was a goddamn fucking civil case with my tenants. Not worth repeating. Nobody has touched a child. No child was sitting on my lap. Nobody was grooming this child. In fact, me and my brother really liked the kid. And the fact is, we were always friendly with these people until they couldn't pay the rent anymore for 4 months. And then they discovered that I was going to sell the house, and they got panicky is what happened. Because they were a big family. And unfortunately, race had something to do with it. Because where we lived, they were not people who really wanted to rent to an African American family. That's a fact. I know the mindset in the community where I lived. They found it very hard to find a place. They practically begged us to rent the unit in my house. They went on camera, on Skype, to introduce themselves. It was very difficult for them, first of all, to find someone that would rent to a family of whatever, 6 people, whatever. Very difficult. And yes, there was a race card involved in that. There certainly was. I have taken in people, I don't care what color they were. I've taken in a gay couple that just happened to be on top of that, a white man who was in a relationship with a black man. So much for prejudice. True. They were my renters. A black man and a white man couple, and they were gay. I didn't care if they were gay, just the capability of paying the rent. I took in his family, an African American family, the one you're always talking about. And you're so concerned about my civil matter. You're so concerned that I owe money. Well, if I owe money, it's to a collection agency. I could go to Hawaii anytime I want. As I said, I could dance in the streets, even in front of a police department. I'm not going to get arrested. There's no warrant out for my arrest. It was a civil case. And the reason I'm not paying is pretty clear. Good morning. But we all get up so early around here, don't we? Yeah. The reason I'm not paying is several reasons. I can't really afford to dislodge that much money to pay for this fine. Number two, but more importantly, it's really number one. The fact is that it was their little plan to take advantage of me in a situation where they found themselves very desperate. Because we weren't exactly at some point in time, roasting marshmallows together. I mean, they owed me rent. And you're forgetting what they did to my unit. $8,000 worth of damage to my unit that I had to pay out of my pocket, but you don't think it's something like that. If you would have went, any one of you guys who was listening to my voice, if you would have went into the 2 bedrooms of my unit, you would have probably upchucked. And they were living like that. It smelled so bad of old urine. The brand new carpets that I installed before they rented my unit, it went to different 8 shades from its original color, which was like a teal green. You wouldn't even know that the carpet was teal green. It was stained with urine stains. And when I finally was able to get into the unit to see what was going on, there was shit piles in there. It was so horrid. They had no respect for my unit. They were living in there, a place that was always pristine. When I lived in that unit, no, I do want to talk about this. And when I lived in that unit, I'm not going to say you could eat an egg off the floor. I've always taken care of that unit, the part of the house that I lived in that they were renting. And when I went in there, and that was the reason why the man of the house, Eric, did not want to show my brother his room. When he claimed that he had bed bugs, there was never any bed bugs. That mattress was new, was barely touched. But he was not willing to let my brother in to see the so-called bed bugs because there wasn't any. I offered remedy, told my brother, if they're complaining about bed bugs, let's get an exterminator over there and check it out. They would not allow him, except Eric would say, no, don't worry about it, I'm taking care of it, I'm taking care of it. He didn't want to open the door. Because if my brother saw the condition of those bedrooms, it would have set a big alarm out to me. You have no idea what those 2 bedrooms look like. Nobody does. Well, the bullshit that I did not treat my tenants right, that was complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. I would offer to repaint the color of the bedrooms and stuff. I would offer all the time. What can I do for you? If something was broken, I took care of it. When something was wrong with the stove, I replaced that stove. I offered to repaint the big bedroom because it had this horrible lavender type color in there. Oh, no, 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 it's okay, it's okay. He did not want me to see the condition of that room either. Now, I don't have to talk about the tenant situation, but I want to get this out of the way once and for all. Because Barry keeps on harping about the same old shit. Or how I treated the tenants. You have no idea how I treated the tenants. If I was so horrible, why would the tenants invite us over for barbecues? If I was so horrible, why would his wife or girlfriend give me a free haircut? Come on over and get your haircut, you know. If I was so horrible, why would the mother of one of the daughters who lived out in Oahu, why would she invite her down for a month if I was this horrible, dangerous landlord? Don't make sense. And all the shenanigans that went on. It sounds familiar. That somebody suffering from PTSD because of me. Does that sound familiar? That's what she did. She had Bell's palsy. And of course, when she'd have some of her attacks, she would blame it on me. Frank did this because of all the stress that Frank put on me. Which stress? These people were so fucked up. They were playing with our heads all the time. We always want the gate locked. When you go to leave the lot, lock the gate. They wouldn't do that purposely. They'd leave it wide open just to play with us and laugh about it. Then